What is going on, team? The time is 5:28. Man is up. Man is ready. Man is going to go to the gym. I'm going to do Stairmaster for 30 minutes. I'm going to train my chest. And then I'm going to come back, have a cold shower, and do the work. Because I'm transforming. And the date is 22nd of December. Most people start their New Year's resolutions after the New Year starts. But I'm starting before. Because that's 8 days of progress. So yeah. I'll see you in a bit.
Alright, so I just had a very interesting thought. And it happened while I was pouring coffee into my coffee machine. So my coffee machine had run out of coffee beans, right? So it's now filled up. You can see here, all the beans there. Beans from Bali, Arabica. These are really good beans, by the way. If you're in Uluwatu, go to Cafe Arabica. And it's very good coffee. Anyway, I bought beans back a few months ago. And I was filling up the coffee machine. And underneath the coffee machine, it was all messy. Now stay with me because this is going to be an interesting point. It was all messy, right? And I've just cleaned it up. But in the past, what I would have done, I would have just put the coffee machine back over the mess and I would have just pretended that I didn't know about it. But here's the thing. No one would have known that I knew about the coffee, right? No one would have known. But I would have known. And the point here is that it's actually the small things that matter. So when it comes to my career, my work, anything that I do, and now I'm trying to be really conscious of the little things, because what I'm trying to do by cleaning up here is build an undeniable stack of evidence and proof that I'm someone that whenever I see a problem, I look to solve it. I look to be the person that can solve it because I'm reminding myself of the person that I want to be. I'm reminding myself of the character that I want to have. And so when it comes to working inside of a company and when I'm building my agency and I'm doing work for other people, I'm going to literally be it's going to be in my nature to find solutions when I see problems versus just pretending that they don't exist. And so this is something that I wish I learned. And the funny thing is, let me tell you a story. So when I was in my first job, and this is the job that I got fired at, and so this is something that you shouldn't do, right? I basically went to use a coffee machine in that job, really interestingly. And everyone would just go to this machine and have Americanos, right? But there was a setting or there was like an attachment where you could put milk inside. So I was like, one day I was like, I want to make a latte. So I went and put milk into the coffee machine and tried to make a latte, but it didn't work. It wasn't working for like half an hour. I was just like fiddling around with this coffee machine, trying to make it work. And then it never worked. And I just left the milk there. I left the milk there for months. It went moldy. And then my manager or like someone more senior had to come over to the desk and say, hey guys, whoever left the milk out, please can it get cleaned? Like we shouldn't be just leaving milk out. And this is like a few weeks later when it has gone moldy. And the point here that I'm trying to say is that like I've undergone this transformation where like I now see the value in taking responsibility for things, even if it's not your fault, even if you haven't made the issue. If you can just start to be useful, that is what's actually going to pay off. Generally, like you see some litter on the street, pick it up. Or when you're working, like my friend, he's like a really good worker. Like he's been promoted a few times at his company. He's like got a decent salary for where he works. And I think one of the reasons why he's so good is habitually he's always just like, because I lived with him for a year, he's always been the guy that like will go up to things and just like sort shit out. Like he'll be the guy to put the bins out. He'll be the guy to clear up the house when I was living with him. And I was never really that guy. I was like the one that, I was kind of like the giver/taker kind of guy. So like I would clean up my stuff, but I wouldn't look to other people's stuff. But now I'm trying to condition myself into becoming the person that actually finds solutions for problems that I didn't even create, because I want to be that type of person that is just useful. So yeah, see you later. You know, when we're old, we can look back at the video, because we'll be like kind of lonely.
Lonely?
Yeah, I feel like most people, old people, just get lonely, right?
No, you will be with each other.
Maybe.
Unless one of us dies.
Likely to happen or something.
Then that'll be sad.
But like, it's likely that we're gonna have to spend more time alone than usual. And we're gonna be like less. We're not gonna have work and stuff. And so then, like, what you can do instead is just look at the videos of your life and reminisce on the good times, because these are the good times, guys.
No, I think I'll work in a supermarket. I don't know.
I wonder what process they go through to figure out how to make the cheese. Like, do you think a vegan makes it, or do you think a non-vegan makes it? Do you think they taste the non-vegan cheese and then they have to make the vegan cheese? Or because if a vegan person makes it, then they can't taste the non-vegan cheese, so they have to just make it on what they like. But then they must have to get a vegan person to taste it afterwards.
They probably have vegan focus groups, but the chef or the R&D person is probably non-vegan, I reckon.
To be fair, one person in the supermarket that we walked past today, she was like,
I can't wait for this year's end.
yeah, she like, we walked past and she was like, I can't wait for this. To be fair, there's a caveat to this, because she did save the day in the end. But, and I'll tell you why, but yeah, she was speaking, like, we were just like looking for a fucking mince pie or something, and we're walking past being all Christmassy, and she's talking to her co-worker, and she goes, I can't wait for this year.
I think she was talking to a customer. It was like the customer was her friend or something.
No, I thought they were both working there. I don't know. But anyway, they're having this deep conversation, and then a few minutes later, someone walks up to her and he's like, do you know where the vegan Yule log is? And then she actually shows us, so she clearly is proud of her job, because she was actually really like,
I got some of those.
She was even like, the mince pies are over there. I don't have any of the vegan panettone, so she knew.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't have any of it.
Yeah. And she was like, I've got some over there. So she took real like ownership of the whereabouts of the food. Yeah, it's her territory. Alright, so something quite funny just happened. I was in the car with my friend, and we were talking, and obviously I'm going on this entrepreneurial journey, and I'm reaching out to businesses to find out what their problems are. And one of the ideas that we started flirting with was this idea of me writing handwritten letters and then posting it to them or sending it to them, because it's quite hard to get a business owner's attention. They're super busy. There's loads of people flooding their inboxes. There's loads of people calling them, and typically the default answer to any kind of cold outreach is no. But if you send an email, well, there are no gatekeepers. Sorry, if you write a letter, there are no gatekeepers, right? So if you write a letter, it's more likely to get into the hands of the business owner, and you can get their attention, and you've put effort into it, which signals that you are someone that is serious and that is worthy of them building a relationship with you. However, the problem is that most people just don't do it because it's effortful, right? And anyway, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try it. And I've tried this once before and it didn't work as I had planned, which is fine. And the person that I was speaking with knows that I did this. And so they actually brought up the idea. And I said, yeah, maybe I will do that, because I think it's quite a good idea, to be honest. And I still do. But soon after he said it, he was like, no, I'm joking. Don't waste your time, or something like that. And then I was like, nah, yeah, that's how most people think. As if like, if most people are saying don't waste your time, then it's probably a worthwhile thing to do, because when everyone goes right, you want to go left, right? If you want to stand out, you have to do things that other people are not willing to do, which I stand by. But then because I said that, he went on to this spiel about how I'm like this person that we both know that is a little bit older, that is not very commercially successful, right? And it's funny because I literally, in the past would have been like, oh my God, like this guy doesn't believe in me. He doesn't think I'm going to be successful with my endeavors. He thinks my ideas are stupid, all this shit. But then I just paused for a second and I just said, you're right. And the reason he's right is not because I'm not going to be successful, because I am. But in that occasion, on that isolated situation, it might not work at all. And it might be a complete waste of time in his own eyes. But I will learn. And I will be the type of person that continues to try and try again until something does work. And he went on to this spiel saying that I'm going to be like this person that we both know that isn't successful. Not because he doesn't think that I'm going to be successful, but it's because if he tried what I was trying, then he wouldn't be successful. And that is the interesting thing, because people will say things to you. They will say that you're not going to be successful. They will say that, oh, you're just like, you're never going to be the person that you want to be. Slightly paraphrased, because they don't say it with that much intent, but that's what's going on underneath the hood, because every joke has an element of truth, right? Every joke has an element of truth. That's why they're funny. And so he says these things, they say these things, but that's what they believe about themselves if they would try, because if they did believe in themselves, they would go and try and do something, right? They would actually go and do something abnormal. And I used to take this to heart. I would used to think that this is a bad thing, but this is a feature of the situation you're in, not a bug. This is a feature, because if you were to do what everyone else is doing, then you wouldn't be an exception and you wouldn't be exceptional. And this is something that I've stolen from Alex Hormozy, but it holds true. And I'm saying it now because I've experienced other people thinking what I'm doing is irrational, stupid, and not in the most direct way, but in these little digs, in these little jokes. And now I've learned to realize that it's completely fine, and I will continue doing what I'm doing, and I will continue to reach my goals and not let it get me down and not spend time dwelling on that, and continue just doing what I want to do, because it's fine. If they don't want to believe in me or themselves, and that's cool, because I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to continue going